Okay, great. So, hey, everybody, we are here for the marketing section of the time of year, Moon in Leo, I will, and 1 week before technically Black Friday. So I wanted to bring you into this awareness of sometimes when the projects have been going for a long time and you've been manifesting and pulling it together, you need a final shove to get yourself off that over the waterfall. And this is this moment. There's a very interesting lunar aspect to what's coming up. I'm going to just tell you what this is. So right now, we're literally a week before the new moon. And what that means is, for those of us who are working, like I've been writing a lot this week to get out the emails ready for the cycle that's going into my sales cycle. All of you will, if you're doing it the way, that many people do, which is you send out to your list, and that will be in that process. And it's going into a dark moon on the weekend. And really what you've got is, right now you'll have Leo is the impetus that can get you over there through I will. I'm going to get this thing done. I will get this done. Then what you may find is over the dark moon phase, which will be 4 days over the weekend, but coming to Monday and Tuesday of next week, we've got the real dark moon in Scorpio. So there may be doubts come up. There may be all sorts of like power issues, like, am I good enough? Who's going to listen to me? All of that kind of stuff going on. Who cares? Like, who cares about me and my projects going on? Have I really got the right angle? All of that will come up in order to send it off like an arrow in new moon in Scorpio next Wednesday. So this is kind of the cycle of the week before a really key sales push. So I'm here for you to just talk you through any questions that you might have around this time of year and what you are up to. And everybody, whoever speaks, just know that you're actually asking on behalf of others. And so just go there, anything, and we'll go through it. Laura.
I have a question. So you and I spoke yesterday, we had our friends check in, but we talked a bit about Black Friday, and you've got an offer going out. And I said, I'd like to, that's a good idea. Maybe I can use that model and the pricing, etc. And then I mulled it over. And this is what I was thinking, so it'd be great to get some feedback, is to make my my Black Friday offer of somewhere between, I'm trying to work it out, but I was thinking maybe I'll offer something really affordable around $47, but say the original price is 75% off, brings it to $47. And then with that, I'll offer a memoir workshop intensive for 3 hours on the Sunday after Thanksgiving. And
okay,
then,
so can I just ask a question?
Yes.
So let's just get clear on this. So you're saying 47 is times 4. So your offer would be 188, really, but you're saying that you're taking 75% off and it's therefore 47, whatever it is, right? Do you know what it is?
Yeah, so this is my idea. That was a 3-hour intensive memoir workshop.
Got it. Okay. I wasn't clear that was the offer.
Yeah.
And not for the weekend. Is it the weekend right after, like the end of the week of Black Friday, that you would be running that? The Sunday?
Yeah. The Sunday, because here's my logic, and I'd love to get feedback and feedback from others too, is on the Monday, I would have an offer, so Cyber Monday, of a 3-month memoir course that I'd sell for $1,100. But I think the original price is like $4,997, something like that, with 75% off. So my logic is some people will sign up for the Sunday, experience what I actually offer, and then I can say to them, look out for the offer tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. So a few things that I want to say immediately.
Yeah.
You want to be very clear of your timing because it's right at the end of Thanksgiving for Americans. Many will be traveling that day.
Mm-hmm.
Many will be, because what they do is extend to the Sunday and then they travel. So question, right? That's something I would be thinking about. Another thing is when you ask people to choose too many things, they can't figure out what to do, right? So you want to guide your audience with the one thing. And now may not be the right time to do the taster. It may be the right time to do the thing, the actual full offer.
Mm.
Then what you can do is backtrack. You can do something like you produce the one offer, which is 1,111. And then you go back, you should put your offer out and you've said, this is the Black Friday offer. And are you going to say that's 75% discount? Or are you saying anything about that? It's normally 4,444. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Then what you want to say about it is that goes out and that's the end of that, right? Because you want to be really strong on boundaries with your offers, even if no one takes it, right? Just as a practice for yourself. This is like my boundary. I'm putting it in. I'm going to run it as it is. I'm going to say it's 75 off. So the key thing is communication. You've got to communicate this through everybody. You've got to let everybody know that that is actually what's happening. It's going to be something in your newsletters, social media, whatever. And you haven't got an awful lot of time to do it. So I'm saying this is willpower. Like you pull this thing together like that. You only show one offer for the Black Friday week. But later on, when it comes to Christmas time and Christmas offers, you can do tasters. And I was saying something to Monty ages ago, like there is a really silly way of tapping into Christmas, which is so great. It's like, I can't remember the full tune, but it's, the how many days of Christmas is it?
12 days.
12 days of Christmas. That's right. Thank you. So you can say, I'm offering a something or other to do with 6 swans are swimming or whatever. 6 people get this opportunity to do a taster with me, blah, 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 blah. And then it's over. But all of them lead back to the same original offer that's gone out. You never change your pricing so people know what you're dealing with. But the other thing that I would say is then you increase come the new year. Mm-hmm. And you say, right, this is the first shift that it's going up to 2,222, bang on, January 1st. You choose another time. So it depends when the thing's running as well, right? So there's a whole schemata of when is the thing running? How many tasters do you need to do sprinkled? And bringing in that Christmassy vibe really works. It's silly and it works.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Does that help?
It does help. Yeah, that's brilliant. Thanks.
Because my feeling is that Sunday it's not the time that's going to work for you for what you do.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Brilliant. Cheers. Thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone else want to ask? Yeah, it's if you would like to ask a question about anything to do with your marketing and the timing and all of that?
For me, I'm testing a lot of stuff through to the end of this year, and I feel really good about the energy of it and the momentum of it. But I need to do most next is grow my audience, because I'm testing stuff, people like it, but literally just not enough people are seeing it for it to have a big impact. So that's my focus, and that's what my question would be about, like ways of doing that.
Okay, well, I think the best one, having trained in joint ventures for a year, is to do joint venture, and it's collaborations. It's not a quick fix by any means, but then I actually don't teach quick fixes. I don't think quick fixes are the thing, really. As I said earlier, you may have heard or you didn't hear, but the sense of urgency also has a sense of desperation and breeds this idea of scarcity. And so when I see people literally pumping out stuff all the time, quite often I think, oh, they're not doing very well in their business, right? And it's it's like one of those things where it looks great, everything is firing out on all cylinders, but I consider that I know a little bit about marketing now, and when that starts to happen, I'm like, there's something going on with those people, right? So what I would do is a much more measured approach. You start to have a look at who's a great collaborator for you. Who is somebody who actually has an alignment with some of the work that you could give something to them that they could give to you. And none of this is like a quick fix. So it could be that something's set up next January for a public speaking gig or whatever, and you start to filter your audience's attention on that. And so I know you would like to hear quick fix, right? Everybody wants that, but I'm just saying, start to scan the new year as a horizon. This right now, unless you've got that solved, is not going to be an easy result kind of thing before Christmas. People are already in their own mindset, unless there's something phenomenal that pops out of the blue. They're already kind of set up what they're looking at, where they're going, et cetera, et cetera. Growing an audience, I think, is like a very strategic. Oh, and there you go. Laura's just said, chat about a collaboration. Yeah. So if you could imagine that there's a natural fit with you guys, both of you are doing writing of some kind, and you set somebody else up into the position of putting you forward, putting you into the limelight, they actually are doing the work for you on some level. There's something wonderful that comes through with the collaboration piece, and it will grow a different audience. So Laura's West Coast, you're England. That's great. West Coast states. But don't be assuming this will be a quick thing. When you're looking at why people get desperate, it's always money or time or the urgency to move forward. If you can go back to this slow burn, like a great recipe that you're growing something really organically, and you think about the best growth on the planet is biodynamic farming, all by the moon, all with the rituals involved in it. Every step is preserved and creative and magical. They wouldn't miss out any steps, right? Really, that's what I believe we should all be, like biodynamic farmers of our creativity, and to value it at that level, right? So the value is more the thing that comes across. As long as you're not starving and in a ditch somewhere dealing with some kind of urgency like that, different issue entirely, then staying on track with your, like, I'm okay now. Okay, I'm okay. It's not the best that I could do. It's not the, the ultimate vision, but I'm okay. And if you can breathe into, actually, I'm okay. So now, from that perspective, starting to look onto the horizon, what is going to be a way that you can build up audience by gradually collaborating with different people? It is technically the fastest way. And it's, unless you've got a product that is going to, like, I think your dark writings could build an audience very well too, because it's got that sex and glamour feel to it, right? So unless you're doing something specifically around sex or specifically around money, which are quick fixes, right? Because it's addiction, like that feeds the addicts. The rest of it is be a biodynamic farmer of your and great value. I am priceless. I'm putting this out carefully. I'm not reducing my price to fit in with something. But like Nicole was saying, she's got not a very high price. She's got a high price offer. She'll need some other tidbits to get in there, because I'm not even sure right now, Nicole, fully that you are fully feeling it. Because you said you're still, a bit like that. Until you sell one, right? You're going to likely feel this way. That's going to be a different momentum when you actually sell it. When you sell 2 or 3, it's going to be a totally different game. So slow is good, slow cooking. Collaboration is amazing. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you. I think the slow build thing is definitely how it seems to work best. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you want to put out something sexy. I mean, it's hilarious because I saw somebody who I follow. I'm trying to remember her name. Oh, come on, brain. So it's about sex, right? It's this, she started off as this kind of tantric teacher, and then she ended up being yin body. That's it, yin body. She started selling crystal wand dildos and lubricant and all of that stuff. Now that all of a sudden from Tantra, which is, yeah, it's in the realm of sexuality, but to have a product that's like a crystal wand dildo, then you watch her rise, right? She was suddenly going up and up, and then she sold the company. That's quick fix, right? Because it's on an addictive scale. It's got a product. Unless you had something like that, which you might be able to with your dark and dirty, whatever, dark and dirty words. It's a slow build, right? But you can see things like that. You can understand why everybody suddenly wants a magic wand and all the accoutrement to do with it. And then she sells her business. So unless you're a fit for that, I don't think I'm ever going to be a fit for that. So I'm slow cooking. Yeah. Does anyone else have another question?
I do.
Great.
So what's really interesting that's coming up that you keep speaking into is like all these little pieces of something I just went through, because I launched my holiday pods, which are running like for 1 month, the exercise pods. I just I wasn't going to work that month, but then it's like, since I've created momentum, I created it. And now that I'm in it, like I realized, because I'm also launching a 6-month that starts on January 9th, the second Monday of the year. And so I launched it, I did the ad, and then I did, because I had 12 spots, and then I had 3 spots last week. And so I put that one up. And then I stopped over the weekend just because I was like, I'm not hustling. And then yet Monday, I was having this experience of like feeling like I should be filling these last 2 spots, because then I only had 2, but I didn't want to put up the like 2 spots left. After 3 to 2, it's like big BFD, right? I wanted a 1 spot left post, and I couldn't do it. So I'm trying to reach out to other people and, just like try not to be weird, people that I had already reached out to, like, hey, bumping this up and your thing. And I did like 3 of them, and I just started feeling extremely uncomfortable yesterday. And then I realized it's like, because I don't want to fucking do this. Like, this doesn't feel good to me. It doesn't feel elegant, doesn't feel glamorous, doesn't feel, you know what I mean? It feels like, and like in 2 weeks, essentially, I need to start pushing again. And that's the bigger push because that's a $2,500 sale while this is a 420. So I just gave myself permission to not worry about these last 2 spots, you know, because I can easily energetically fill them and just stop and wait a couple of weeks and recalibrate and then sell January. So
Well,
it's-
you can also say things like, you don't have to mention the number of pods, but you could say almost sold out.
I don't want to talk about it at all anymore. It feels
Okay.
like too much, but here's the
Yeah.
thing, because I have like 5 of my 12 spots sold in January. So I have 7 spots at like 20. It's a bigger nut. This is $800 versus several $1,000s. I don't want to be that. Like you said, if you're always talking about your business, it sounds like things aren't going great. Like if
Yeah.
you can just drop off and nobody knows that I didn't sell it out. It's like, you know, oh, great. Now he's selling January, you know, and that's what I want. It doesn't align I don't want to fucking talk about it anymore. You know, I want to energetically be drawing the people to me. Cause last time I started a 3-month pod and I wasn't worried about the last spot, and 2 weeks into the pods, it sold, you know? And
Great.
so I just want to be in that space. So I just wanted to share that because it was really interesting in the conversation that's coming up today. And then the question I have is
And
because
let me interrupt you just for a sec, because one of the things that I think you could do is tasters
Mhm.
to get people to the bigger process, right? And some of that is really about attention span. A lot of people can't read lengthy passages, they can't watch long videos, they can't do anything. So she who speaks long,
Me too.
you know,
Well,
always,
I can't.
yeah.
I'm not watching anything long either. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I
But
laughed.
I tend to do lengthy. That's part of my vibe. I get into things, it's deep, it's whatever, but I could consider, and you might consider, something that are shorter hits to get to the point faster, that are going to support. It's like the support structure of the other things that are at the center of the attention, right? To guide people in. That's how you get audience. Again, it's like some audience comes. I noticed something really interesting when I was traveling a lot this summer, that there were people who I never connect to, but when I was in Bali posting at the ideal time for me that I do in England, suddenly I'm connecting to a whole different group of people because of timing. It's nothing to do with, you know, have I got a different audience? It's literally just a time change, that I was sticking to my English time the same way I do in Bali, but it automatically brought in an entirely different audience. So there are things like that. You can change the times that you're saying things. You can switch up something that we get very habitual. I'm very habitual. I ate a croissant for 30 years, you know, first thing in the morning, croissant, that was it, 30 years, until I realized I had grinding indigestion and all sorts of things like that going on because of the croissant every year for 30 years. But routine is habitual for me. Like I get into it with business. I'm sure you guys do too. So if you could just alter one thing about your moments when you're doing a small post or a small reel or a little video or something, that can be another way as well in.
What about the taster? Like, what do you mean when you say tasters? Like free? I don't know what that, I can't really. see
Okay,
that
tasters.
for me.
What I have found is that people don't know what I do. So I'll speak for myself. People don't know what it is I do. It's not clear because I'm not somebody who's just a marketing coach or just a this and that coach. And I do the moons and all of this. So some people have no idea what I do. They kind of have an energetic sense, but if I offer a taster or a free something, which could be, in your case, it could be specifically about what are the worst things people deal with? Holiday stress, for instance. You've got a 15-minute taster to reduce holiday stress. You can get them jumping up and down for, 100 times in that time. That's it. You just jump up and down with you, but it's your personality that will sell it, and they get to know you, and connection is currency.
Yeah, well, let's get to that in a minute because there's a bigger, I have 2 larger questions. Because so getting back to just selling the pods, when, like, now, because now I'm kind of interested in looking at like the cycle, because it looks like probably then 2 weeks, next week will be the new moon, right?
New moon is
The
next week,
dark,
yeah.
and then noon, and then it will be 2 weeks from then, because I'm looking at like the dates of like when I want to speak into it when it's close enough to the new year where people know they're interested in thinking about their physicality for the new year, because this is just straight workout pods, right?
Well,
So,
the full moon, Gemini media is December 7th.
hmm,
It's very good for messaging, media, et cetera. Now, the full moon has 3 days of impact, and it changes. It goes from, on the 6th, it goes from Taurus into Gemini. That's a physical time, and it's good for messaging because Taurus is all about the body. You could even do it Monday the 5th because it's the rise of the moon and it's all about the body. Taurus is all about the body. But Gemini is all about the message. So there's a full moon there, which is useful. And I think that's the cutoff point that week, because what happens is by the time you get into the following week, which is December 12th to 18th, they've lost attention. They've already booked up all the things they need to do. They need to see the family, this and that. Their attention is gone. The next time to do something is like you've got new moon in Capricorn is literally Friday the 23rd. So it's quite good for business. If you wanted to say something, you just wanted to like, hey, we're just before Christmas. I'm sending you the best wishes for everybody, because it's got to be that tone. That's what people will hear. But then for those of you who are dealing with Christmas stress or holiday stress or holiday flab or whatever you want to tailor it to, the problem, then we can connect between Christmas. That can work. But then if not, what you want to do is go into the first week of January, because you've got a rise of from the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. 6th is the full moon on a Friday. Full moon in Cancer, all to do with the family, the home, you know, being stuck at home. I'm a flabby mess. You know, it's perfect for you. The 6th of January is an activation point, and I'll be doing something because I always say the first full moon of the year is really powerful. It sets the scene for the whole of the year. So that week is excellent, you know, for launching. Sometimes it's better to launch later in the year, in the January, but in this instance, this year, it's earlier. It's like come to full capacity first week. So you've got the 2nd is a Monday. So Sunday the 1st is great. You spend New Year's Day that day, but boom, by Monday, you're back on, even though the work isn't.
yeah, that makes sense. So I'll go the 6th through the 16th, and then I'm just gonna drop it. I'll just send out a lot of love on the 23rd.
Yeah.
And then I'll go back into it January 2nd, because that's when everybody's gonna feel like a fat ass anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And so, and then getting to what you were talking about, like you were talking about taster, but talking about like holiday stress and, you know, what the other things, like I want to set myself up into going into next year to more coaching than personal training. And so, like I think I'm probably gonna start talking mid-January. I might do a group to take people through a nutrition club, you know, or I may just scrap that whole idea. I'm just not married to it yet. I may just go straight into what I want to talk, which is self-love and how that hits people and what's their pain point that they want to buy and solving those problems. Because I just realized that the base of everything for me is self-love. And it's really what I want to talk about. And I would like to, eventually I want to move away from the personal training, or at least like being dependent upon it, you know, as far as time, so that I can move more around the planet. So
bring that in. Yeah, that's great. And these are the taster moments. Is that what you're talking about? Like what to do as a
that's what I
taster
was
for that?
thinking about, like, because, you know, with it, as far as exercise, I don't want to do any exercise things because it will be too many people, because the product is 3 people. So if they come and they feel like, oh, well, this makes sense. And I'm like, okay, now I'm selling, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't feel good to me. But I could bring people in on other things. Like I was thinking about doing something about how to you know, like, just like a get together about how to like eat during the holidays and not feel terrible at the beginning of the year, but still have fun, you know? Like,
That sounds great, right there.
yeah, like that's
So
what I want to do.
are you promoting anything next week?
No.
Well, then that would be the topic of conversation.
I might just start speaking it, like, I'm open to speaking into, I don't want to be promoting because I want to wait till I just did a promotion. I just don't want to be constantly promoting. So I do want to start like really speaking into some of these larger topics and the more like the coaching topics and.
Well,
and-
choose one. Don't go into a gazillion. Choose one. Self-love is great.
Okay, I'm going that way.
Lots of people relate. It's current, it's a trend. But if you can, just do something spontaneous next week, like a live or something,
Mhm.
and just take on the topic. Self-love before the holidays. So before Thanksgiving as well, because you can mention the holidays and you can mean
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just, yeah, that's what I'll do, because I was gonna do like an event, but I don't feel like putting all that, like, you know, drawing, blah, 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 blah. I'll just do a big delicious live on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. But keep the conversation going, because it will be going in,
Mhm.
and connection is currency. Every time somebody gets to experience you, see, I have no idea, for instance, how Nicole teaches, how Alora teaches, how Sally Shakti teaches, how you teach,
Mhm.
even though I know you
Mhm.
to a certain level. I have no idea about that until you start giving people little tasters of what you actually do. What is it like to be taught by Monty in self-love as a topic? That's what you want to feed with people. What is like a little writing exercise with Sally Shakti or Alora? What's the difference? How do they feel different? Nicole, if she's going to do a 20 grand offer, what does it feel like 3 minutes with her? And that's how it builds up for those people to think, I may not be ready now, but I will be in X amount of time. That's how it works. It's the relationship, you know?
Cool, I feel good.
Yeah, the greatest thing that people say about me, recurrent comments, as I'm the real deal. If I had to, you know, like, it becomes a perfume. I'm the real deal perfume. People say it all the time. And I didn't take note of that because it's just what's said. It's sort of, but when I actually sat back and I thought, what's a piece of information that I receive from my clients that is, well, I'm the real deal. So everything I do has to be real. It can't be like, you know, off topic, off alignment, off frequency. I have to be this real person that people at some level trust. They may not like everything I do or whatever, but there's a certain level that they trust. Distill down, what is it that your clients say about you? At some point, it might be worth doing a, you know, like a quiz or something like that. But just listen to what are the comments that people say about you. Yeah, Alora, go for it.
I've just started to interview my clients, my students who have been with me for a long time and religiously. And I did my first interview the other day, and I think video testimonials
Are really good.
are really good. So yeah. And I got, you know, like super praises. So yeah.
And listen to what it is they're saying, because then that's your messaging. You know, you don't want to try and emulate somebody else. You want to, so when I do it, I want to be the real deal. I want to be so like authentically me with all the moons and the this and the that, because if I was not, I would not be the real deal, right? So that's the piece that you want to be taking in as what's the conversation that you want to have, because that's what people like about you. And then you could find a taster. Like I could do, you know, come and spend 10 minutes with the real deal. Learn what that really is like to be in my frequency, my tasters. Whatever is a fit for you would be like that too. Does that land? I'm speaking in circles to try and get somewhere with this, but yeah, Alora.
Well, that's why I was thinking of doing that Sunday class, because I was thinking, oh, it's a taster that people can taste what I do before they get this email of, register for this course for $1,100. But now I'm just thinking I can offer a class next Wednesday or this Wednesday, this Saturday. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And it could just be a different time, that's all, just because of the travel that goes on that day.
Brilliant.
But yeah, exactly.
One
Just to give people a sense of who you are.
Yeah, thank you. One quick question, which seems like, why don't I know this, but 12 days of Christmas, are you thinking from the 1st to the 12th of December? Or okay, brilliant. I just wanted to
It's
clarify.
the advent calendar, it's everything. So if there's any cheesy little things that you're desperate to think of, like, what do I do in that time? Do the 12 days of Christmas. Today I'm offering, what is the first one? I can't even think of the thing. Let's do the 12 days of Christmas. Does anybody remember? Because I'm having a mental block on it. The first day of Christmas, my true love.
To me.
To me.
And it's like 2 partridges. It goes on the second day, but yeah, you can do.
Look at it. You could do, I'm offering one coaching client on the first day, whatever he does, for a 10-minute session for a breakthrough something. On the second day of Christmas, I'm giving 2 whatever is away. On the third day of Christmas, blah, 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 like that. But you can use it as a model because people really tune into that. It's super cheesy and fun, but it's kind of authentic. What are you saying, Monty? Are you looking for the 7 day, the 12 days?
I found the song and then I'm like, when are the 12 days of Christmas? And like,
1st to the 12th.
No.
You're
Apparently
not?
somehow no, it's, well, you'd have to make it up because I guess it says the December 25th to Thursday, January 5th are the actual 12 days of Christmas.
Are
I
they?
don't know how that is or what that means.
That's interesting.
I think
That's what my face did that thing. But the birth of Christ and the coming of Magi, the 3 wise men, it starts on the 25th.
Okay, well, advent calendars are given out on the 1st to children for 12 days. So they go through that, or maybe they go through 25 days actually to open the things.
Yeah.
But you could look it up in detail, but just to jog your memory of what are the things that you could actually say, hey, for the 6 swans of swimming, I'm giving blah, 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 tickets to a future event. 6 people get to come in and it in my case, I do something like positioning your message and brand or whatever. For 6 people, it's a gift. I'm giving it to you for X, or I'm just giving it for free. Those are the tasters. That's also drawing in an audience. The other thing I wanted to mention to you is recommendations. And, as a group, and we can say it here, we can recommend each other. And it's a very amazing vibe when you see somebody recommending, like there's something, you've got to hop on it in a minute. Okay, well, I'm just saying recommendations. That is a really powerful, generous, energetic when you see somebody else recommending somebody else. And so that could be something we even set up amongst the group and do as a kind of Christmassy thing. Like it's all about giving. It would mean that all of us need to have little paragraphs about ourselves for the purposes of that, and other people start putting you up on their thing. Just saying. I think it's a really nice idea. If you want to do that, we could get that together. I'll include everybody who's in the 11 Queens and Kings. Do you feel that? Would that be good? It grows an audience. You see, none of us really compete with one another. We're very different people, right? But I think that can be incredibly generous. Like, I'm going to recommend my friends during this Christmas season to make everybody flourish. Okay, I'll make that happen. And I think that's it. You know, these are just brainstorming. I will do another one in 2 weeks. I want you to get your Black Friday stuff out of the way and just start and get your will behind it. Like, just do something. Here's the main thing, do something. And then 2 weeks from now, I'm going to get us on another call, and that will be, all right, now we're going to plan it through Christmas and into New Year. Excellent. Mwah. I will see you later. Loads of love.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.